thought she was gonna be like, if Melissa isn't here, I'm gonna talk shit. Oh, the pickles are coming out of his eyes too because they're vaguely pickle shaped. Oh,
Yeah,
this is weird.
exactly. It's a weird gif, all because Melissa said the word pickles. And that,
Ooh, like
ladies and
the
gentlemen, is how we start the show. Let's
I
see.
don't
I
like
should
that.
actually hit record on all of this stuff before we do anything.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
We're already live, but haven't even hit record.
Hi, friends.
There we go. Now I'm
We're
finally
so good
recording. And with that we can actually get started with the show now, if that is good with everyone else. Whew.
Yes.
We
What
have
else am I gonna do?
all three of us here. It's me. It's your
Yay.
boy. It's Kyle. It's Melissa Wilkinson, and it's Jess Beaver. How are you guys?
Good.
Good. You can hear the thumbs up.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to say I think we're also having trouble with internet being laggy a little bit. So we might be dealing with a little bit of that. Just FYI for anyone out there, including Sam, who is in the chat right now. Melissa,
Yes.
you weren't here with us last week. You had a movie night.
No, I had something incredibly important to do.
Yes.
I had to go watch a movie on a big TV.
There you go. Can't
My dad
pass up a good big TV.
My dad, for his 60th birthday, bought himself a 60-inch TV. So it's this giant television, and he's got like a nice sound bar to go with it, and we've got like the couch that has recliners in it. He has a very nice home theater setup, and it's his. It's not the family's, it's his. So every time my parents go out of town, it is agreed upon that this is the time when I call up my friend Jack and we go over to my parents' house and we watch the movies we have been stockpiling specifically for this home theater experience. Like, this has extra dazzling visuals. We need to save it for the big TV. So we couldn't pass this up. And this week, our movie was Blade Runner 2049.
I still
Oh,
haven't
I bet that
seen
was
that
so
one.
good. I remember seeing it in
Despite me
theaters.
wanting to be a cyberpunk myself. So it was strange because it was, I think, last week or the week before, I actually had to describe to someone what cyberpunk actually was. And they were like, oh, I thought it was only in aesthetic. And I was like, no. So I gave some examples and some history and some common themes and stuff like that. And I was like, and it kind of solidified its look in Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049, which you might have seen recently. But I still have not seen that one.
I'm shocked, Kyle, because
Yeah, right?
it's you, though.
Yeah, it is me, the cyberpunk.
Like,
And like your whole screen is like the same color
Right?
scheme, the like purples and the blues.
like the leather jacket.
Exactly.
Yeah, I literally, like, last Friday, I was like, I can't go see my one cyberpunk boy. I have to go see a different cyberpunk boy.
You're like, you have to go see a different one. I saw that movie in IMAX. It came out like the day after my birthday when I was working at the Science Center in Seattle, which has a big IMAX. And it was amazing. And I just remember being, seated, and my uncle was there. My aunt and uncle went with us because my uncle loves the original Blade Runner. And actually, over dinner, he spent the entire time summarizing the first one because the last time I had watched it was in high school. And I was like, I don't understand this movie. I'm not very clear on what actually happened. And he's like, you're not supposed to be. And he was just so excited. And I just remember sitting there, and then the first like whomp of the movie, because it's got those like synth chords at the very beginning, and I was just like, I was like, oh, this will be fun because like it's a movie, but I was kind of like, I don't know, I don't remember the first Blade Runner, so like whatever. But then I was like, I'm gonna love this, and then I did.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about this movie that I am shocked I have not heard anybody talk about, which is that all the text they put on screen that's just like time and date stamp text like that
Sure.
is impossibly small. And
Really?
I don't understand why. This is a 60-inch TV. Remember, like I said earlier,
Yeah.
we're not sitting that far away from it. There are times we had to get up and walk up there and stand a foot away from the TV, and we're like, okay, that's where they are.
That's weird.
I don't understand. It's not like, oh, it's kind of an aesthetic choice. I just wanted it to be kind of small and subtle and like kind of blend into the frame of the movie. No, it's like, oh, I meant to hit 72 for the font size and I accidentally hit 7.
That's my point too. Right. So it's
like that.
That's actually a fairly common problem with a lot of like HD, like when we made the switch to HD and stuff, especially in video games. Whereas like, how can you read? It's so tiny, and it's like, oh, we can fit so much more in this in the screen because you can see everything now, and it's a fairly common problem, but recently, like, it's been in vogue to have these like big gigantic fonts on the entire screen. I think they did
like
hit it in like
Civil War.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Which that's a more recent trend for that stuff, but
I like it better.
Yeah.
Then I don't have to get up and look at the television.
Yeah.
So we picked out this movie, and Jack had like rented it from the library. She brought the DVD over, but I'm sitting there going through my dad's DVR, which is a wonderland. He has a wild variety of tastes and things. And the movie was already there. Like, oh, he recorded it for us. It's magic. He's my dad for a reason. We'll just watch the one he recorded because this Showtime, DVR of it is probably clearer than a DVD copy of it. And I realized, oh, this might be why it's sitting all the way down here at the bottom of the DVR and he hasn't watched it yet. He can't read anything because he's like 5 years old and the text is so small.
Right.
Well, and they gotta think about older people and people with glasses, because like I have glasses, I already can't see very well. I think the other problem too is people assume that when you put your glasses on, suddenly you can see better than even them. And I'm like, no, I can just see it. Like I get that all the time. People at work are like, oh, I can't read like the thermometer across the room. Or like, oh, I'm like, oh, I saw that thing. And they're like, oh, I didn't. It's because you have your glasses on. And I'm like,
they're not a superpower. They're not a senses enhancer.
Like, things are blurry. You guys would be blurry if I didn't have them. Like, they do not give me better than 20/20 vision. And I think people think they do sometimes, and it drives me nuts. Anyways, that was a tangent.
I'm just baffled that not only the text in this movie is so very small, but the fact that I've not heard a single person talking about this. I don't know why this isn't like a meme or something out there. Because all I heard about this movie was, oh, it's cool, it's pretty, Ryan Gosling is handsome, etc.
Maybe if you had robot eyes, you could have ones that zoom in. Huh?
Yeah, that's what
you ever think about that?
Well,
I like my eyes. They're the same eyes my dad has.
I wonder too, like how many people have actually seen that movie since seeing it in theaters. Because the reason I haven't commented is because the last time I saw it was on a huge fucking IMAX screen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I had no problem reading it then because I had to turn my head to see the entire screen. Like I haven't watched it at home yet, and maybe I should and see if I run into the same problem.
Mm-hmm. So this is just all I've been thinking about over the last week. It's terror and this really small font.
One thing that would be really interesting, because video games are also kind of going through, especially over the past couple years, of like, how do we become more inclusive to people with handicaps, but just the idea of like, oh hey, I want to make the subtitles a little bit bigger, or I want to map the buttons differently. I wonder if we're ever going to get to a point where font that is a part of the movie like that, but is just extra informational, can be changed. Can, like, what size it is, what color it is. I wonder if we'll ever get to that point. Goodness.
Or if we'll at least get like an optional audio track that's not like, it's not like descriptive for viewing impaired people, but it's just like, we'll read it for you. We'll read all the text to you, Dad.
Exactly. I am having some weird things happening right now with
everything.
this camera.
Oh.
There we go. I think we fixed it.
It's
we are
good.
back.
Yay! I personally think all fonts everywhere, the universal font should be Arial because it doesn't have any serifs. So it's a lot easier to read. And ever since I found that out, no, you're shaking your head, but I learned.
Absolutely
what is your
not.
choice for the ultimate sans serif font, Kyle?
So
Come on, our boy.
I really like Gotham. That's again not just because it's a reference to Batman, but
I love the city. Also, I love Helvetica. Unrelated.
So as much as Helvetica is, Arial is a knockoff of Helvetica.
Yes.
But Helvetica is just so good. It's so flexible. It's so generic, which is why it is used for everything, because it can be used in any situation, and it works. So that's just me as the graphic designer. I have to use Arial for work because that is all they have, and it is awful, and I hate it.
Oh, I didn't say. I started using it for pretty much everything in college, like very adamantly, when professors were like, I prefer Times New Roman, but you can use whatever you want within reason. Like, I would use Arial all the time because I learned that it's much easier for people with dyslexia to read because there's none of the little serifs. And so while it's kind of bland, I was like, if this is going to be easier on my professor's aging eyes as they read 60 papers in a night, like, even though they're being like, I like Times New Roman because it's uniform. I'm like, I'm trying to do you a favor here.
I don't want your eyes to die.
So I started using Arial.
Thing with Times New Roman is it does not look good on computers. If you have the original like typesetting for like a printing press, it looks amazing. It looks so much better, but digitally it doesn't look all that good. So but it's that like standard, like, we look like we're an official business, so we're gonna use this business style corporate font. So
I like Cambria because that's what my favorite professor in college used, and it's like a Times New Roman, but just slightly off, slightly fancier, a slightly more sophisticated choice.
Sam is in the chat here, just listing off fonts, and it's fantastic.
I was definitely looking up the fonts you guys were talking about. I was going to say, I'm one of those awful people. I like Papyrus. I do not use it for everything because I acknowledged that it should not be used for everything.
Oh, no.
But when something calls for being just a little bit fun for maybe like one word, I'll use Papyrus.
Yeah.
Kyle's like, we can't be friends.
What's the alternate word to write in Papyrus, though? Is it like soothing?
What?
I feel like if you write the word soothing in Papyrus, it is more soothing than if you wrote it in any other font. Every font has a key word.
I feel like Papyrus is good for when you are writing up a fake letter that you're going to print on like that brown toned paper, and you're going to like burn the edges a little bit, and you sort of want it to look like it was handwritten, but you don't want to go through the effort of handwriting it.
Yes.
That's what you use
out
there,
people.
It's for 7th grade history projects.
Don't listen to them. Just you and me, okay? We're gonna have our own podcast, just us. They can be doing their own
We're spending
thing.
so much time talking about fonts for an audio medium.
Right?
Hey, you can absolutely have design related podcasts and stuff like that. I normally
I just
have
think
the
it's
things
funny
set
that
up so
none
I
of
can
these are
show people stuff
applicable.
that's on my laptop, but I don't have it set up right now, so I can't really show people stuff. Yes, Sam, that was at you. It's just gonna be you and me. Sam, this podcast is now you and me.
I know what to say that'll really get Kyle going. Kyle, do you know what my favorite font is?
Yes, it is Comic Sans.
Wingdings.
Wingding.
I'm kidding. It's not my favorite font. I just wanted to say it.
As long
Comic
as it's
Sans
not
is
curls.
awful.
I hate curls too. That's a terrible font.
Jokerman. What do we need a Jokerman for?
For Batman, that's what we
yeah,
need
that
it for.
Jokerman fights Batman.
Right? And thus, Gotham. That's how we get the font Gotham. No, so have you guys heard someone use the sentence the quick brown or the oh god, now I forget what it is. The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Yes.
Is it the quick red?
No, it's the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog because it has every letter in it.
I thought there were 2 colors in there, but maybe not.
Not that I know of. The quick brown.
I guess if you just want to double up, sure. You're really excited about writing an R.
If it's red, you wouldn't have B in there.
But I thought it was like the fox was red and the dog was brown. But I guess it doesn't matter because when was the last time you guys used this? The last time I used it was like 5th grade. So.
Oh, I use this all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
This is for like pen testing and penmanship practice. Like when I'm getting rusty and I need to get those cursive skills back.
Or when you're looking at
confirm
fonts, you can just type out that sentence and it has every single one. You guys have I guess you might not have a favorite alternative then, but Melissa, do you have a favorite alternative?
Oh, this is less about the statistical, like logistical thing of does it have every single letter in it? Is it a complete, full, nutritious, balanced breakfast of letters?
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, when I just need to write a dang thing, it's now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their party. Which I read in a book somewhere. That was what a character used to test a typewriter out in some old book. And I'm like, okay, radical.
There's one, I forget.
I don't have one that I use.
Do you have?
There's one that I know of that I really, really like. Yes! Sam, thank you. It's Sphinx of Black Quartz, Judge My Vow.
Oh, yeah!
It's great. I love it.
This. God, that's the metal one.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's the
I don't know if it has all the letters.
Craft one.
That's the spoopy one.
If you say it 5 times into a mirror,
right?
Who appears? I would probably, if I needed to test out typing a bunch of things, just write one of the monologues from A Knight's Tale, like over and over again. Probably the one where he's like, "The rock, the hard place," and he's like, "We walk in the garden of his turbulence," and then everybody's silent, and then the other guy goes, "Yeah!" Like I love that bit, and I would probably just like
great
write
film
that over and over. It's so good. I'm sort of obsessed with it lately. I've seen it like twice in the last month. I also tested out on a Word document just now. Soothing does look good, pretty good in Pyrus. G's and Y's and J's just like look really good. Kyle's like, I hate you.
Somebody's not soothed.
I
Also,
am not
I
soothed.
realized I think I like it because I like the way my name looks in it. Because the J is all big and the B is, and like that's how I sign my name in real life. The J is much bigger than everything else, and the B is much bigger than everything else. Even though, not just because it's capital.
At one
Guys,
time
let's
in
all write each
college,
other letters. See everybody's penmanship.
at one time in college, I think I had, I want to say, over 600 fonts on my computer, just different ones to try out and stuff that I had copied from my professor's computers and got in totally legal ways. But yeah, sure, there you go. So I would sit there and just go through them all. That one doesn't work. That one doesn't work. That one doesn't. No, that one's good. Okay, yeah, no, that one.
Yeah.
That one. Okay. Yeah. So Melissa,
It matters.
Yes.
I wanted to ask you, since you were also not here last week, what did you think about all the Spider-Man stuff that happened? Briefly, what are your thoughts? Because it's a little bit old news by now.
I feel like I let him down. He's my boy. It's
your
our
fault.
job. He's been through so much. It's our job to protect him, to watch over him, to make sure he is safe and well. And it's
We
these
lost the
companies
kid.
fighting with each other. And I just want to raise my hand and say, hi, can I help, please? Do you need some money? Can I do anything?
Can I make
Anything at
you a
all? Just here to help the
sandwich?
boy. Yeah, does anybody need a casserole?
Like you need something.
Exactly.
Wow, like I just wish there was something we could do besides like sit here and just watch this ping
just have to
pong
wait.
match, like going back and forth.
Yeah.
I think
It's-
money is the last thing they need. I think they do need just like a real good casserole though.
I-
Like a real
I'll
good
give
like
them
green
all my
bean
real good
money.
kick in
They
the
take it
pants.
from me. They're not taking it from each other. I'll take out a SpiderMan loan. I'll marry rich real fast.
I can see you going to the bank. Ma'am, why do you want a loan for $5,000? It's for Spider-Man. It's for
Dude,
what? It's for
to
Spider-Man.
save my boy. There's a moment in Amazing Spider-Man 2 where Sally Field, who's the Aunt May of that universe, is yelling at Andrew Garfield like, "You're my boy! I'm here to take care of you!" And I just keep thinking about that. Like, that's how I am. Like, Spider-Man is pop culture's most famous nephew, probably. I- right?
That's a
Name
good way
a
to
more
put it.
famous nephew. The DuckTales kids, I guess so. But like, I'm an aunt. I've been an aunt since I was 8. My nephew's like my oldest best buddy next to my actual brothers.
I
And
guess you
like,
could also say Harry Potter.
Yeah.
yeah, but Spider-Man.
I'm like
this
trying
is
to think of nephews.
This is the best aunt-nephew bond in all of pop culture, so I relate to it a lot. And I look at Spider-Man, I'm like, this is like
Oh,
if you had to send my nephew away, my own boy.
isn't
And like
Jon
he had to
Snow a
act like
nephew?
he never knew me at all, and he's still doing stuff, but he's like, I've never had an aunt. I'm like, no, I've been here the whole time. I was real. Acknowledge me. I'm just upset that like these beautiful narratives have to get tug of war between these business concerns. Just let them all live together. They're a family.
Yeah.
Ohana means family. Family means no one gets left behind. This concludes my speech.
I
gotta
heard.
go watch Lilo and Stitch.
What was that?
I said now I gotta go watch Lilo and Stitch.
Right? Always relevant.
Okay, guys, we're done for the night. I gotta go watch Lilo.
I saw someone saying that they could potentially explain why Spider-Man is no longer there in the new Doctor Strange film. Just the whole idea of the multiverse of madness and whatever that's going to be. And it sounds like
Oh, they all just hallucinated Peter Parker?
it absolutely, or have it be Deadpool, have it be Ryan Reynolds, guy like in the Spider-Man outfit, and be like, "You guys seriously don't remember me? I was
Everybody's spending all their energy coming up with these joke solutions. And I'm like,
This-
roll up your sleeves, do some real work, save the boy we have now.
The next Deadpool film needs to be, yeah, like him trying to make them all remember Spider-Man.
He existed. He was real.
Yeah, so there's all of that stuff. What was there D23 stuff that we didn't talk about? Because we only kind of touched on the Marvel stuff and the Star Wars stuff.
Did you? I forget what day of the convention this Star Wars trailer came out. Did you already talk about that?
I don't think we did. The Rise of the Skywalker taser one? I don't think we did.
Well,
People have a lot of feelings.
I am so certain that like Dark Ray is like dream, vision, hallucination.
I don't think it's a real thing.
Yeah, there's no way that can be real.
Well, and everybody's like, she's got the double-sided lightsaber and a cloak, and it's like, one, she was hanging out with Lando. We saw that in a much earlier
She's got plenty
clip.
of cloak inspiration in her life.
Style. And
Yes.
two, do you know how fucking cool it looks in the trailer when she's like, here's my one lightsaber, and then it's a double one? She looks cool. She does not give a shit. They're like, oh, it's red, that's bad, or oh, it's two, it's bad. She's just like, guess what? Twice as dangerous.
Yeah,
like,
maybe red's just her favorite color.
I think it's just very much about just
That's
like whatever
not how
works
it works,
best.
Melissa. But okay, so
That's how it works.
did you guys see the GIF someone made of that scene when she like switches out the double-sided lightsaber, except it's all the tools of a Swiss Army knife. It's like a corkscrew, a
Tiny
pen,
spoon.
it's a pocket knife. Yeah, it's scissors. It's all that stuff.
So there'd be a lot of good gifts.
This is what I'm thinking, and I've not seen another person bring this up, so, you know, the Whatnauts exclusive here. You know who else is a Skywalker who doesn't get talked about as a member of the family is C-3PO. And what do we see him doing in this trailer? His eyes turn red. Maybe the rise of Skywalker, it means him.
Yeah, that's actually what happens. He takes over.
And then the robots take over.
I'm not gonna lie, the bit at the very beginning where they showed all the clips from past movies and like the little dialogue there, it kind of got me. I was like, this is it. Like, it is it, but it's also not it because like there's so many more TV shows and stuff coming, but like they're making it feel like it's it. And I'm like, yes, it'd be good if this was the last Star Wars we got for a little while because I really like Star Wars, but I'm getting a little bit of Star Wars fatigue.
Yeah,
maybe because I just watched.
I think they're gonna wrap up the Skywalker story, and then hopefully through some of these TV shows and stuff like that, start exploring new characters, and then be like, "Hey, movie in this section of Star Wars over here. We're starting a new thing."
Mm-hmm.
I want to go back to Coruscant.
There you go.
Yeah. Part of my Star Wars fatigue might also be that I just spent a month watching a play version of The Empire Strikes Back 2 days every weekend. So, which was a lot of fun and it was really great. But I also like now know some of the lines from that. So I think I like it better in play form though.
That sounds fun.
I should send you guys, maybe it can be posted. I have a picture of the band with the guy who played the Wampa.
Oh,
which was pretty awesome. It's pretty great.
There's a local theater company around St. Louis called Magic Smoking Monkey Theater, and they do these like compressed pop culture shows. Like they did all of Harry Potter in 90 minutes, and I saw them do it's all of no, it wasn't all of Star Wars. It was specifically the Star Wars holiday special, The Play.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
No, but like they've got the meta level where they have the writer going like, stop, pause. Okay, so what we were trying to do in this scene was, and then it also stops for breaks for these parodies of like really cheesy old 1979 commercials. Like they're all these comedy shows and everybody is playing like 10 different roles and just running off and on stage, like changing out wigs and jackets and masks
That's
and things
funny.
like that. It's just so intense and madcap and it's really delightful.
My friend, he's the one who put together all the music and kind of led the band, um, keeps joking slash threatening that the next show we do after next year is not going to be the original trilogy, or not the original, sorry, the prequels, because nobody actually wants to do those, but it's going to be the holiday special. And every time I'm like, I'm going to punch you. Like, no, he made me watch it. He like hunted down a copy on eBay and made me watch it. We watched it in this very room because it was before we even had all of our things unpacked. So like we didn't own a couch. All of our boxes were in the living room. We were like sitting on a futon. He popped it into this laptop. I have vivid memories. I had to have wine while I was watching it. It is so bad.
I love it for just what a wild disaster it is. Like there is nothing else on its there's nothing else on that scale. It's legendary. Like nothing else is spoken of and rumored and like if I had a hammer I'd smash every copy of it. Like it is truly infamous.
It's because you can't find it because people really did just get rid of it because it's so bad.
I've only seen it in the Riff Tracks version, which I highly recommend. If you're curious about this thing but too scared, watch it with just some jokes laid over it. Softens the edges. I've watched the Riff Tracks version of it several times. Yeah. Like just get watch it around the holidays, bring your family around for Life Day, make yourself some blue eggnog and just sit down for Riff Tracks together. This is I've made friends and family watch this with me.
Oh God.
I will do it to my future husband and children.
I should connect you with my friend Bond because he routinely will just look at me and start singing the Stir Whip Whip song. And I'm like, I fucking hate you. He's one of my best friends and I hate him. But also I love him. But like just anytime the Christmas special comes up, the holiday special, sorry, because it's not Christmas, I'm just like, Fawn, I'm gonna kill you. Why'd you make me watch that?
It was I think it's an important piece of cultural history.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
No,
I think Kyle, have you seen it?
Seen what? Oh, the
holiday
special. I've seen clips. I've not seen the full thing.
We should do our own riff tracks, but not riff tracks. Obviously, we can't do that. But like,
Kyle, please. It's.
We should just do
because while I hate it, I agree. You need to see.
It's worth it to climb that mountain to say that you have seen it. It's a mark of strength.
To be one of the
it's
few.
A mark of strength. Yeah, no.
Nobody can ever be like,
totally
you're not a true
like
Star Wars fan if you've seen the holiday special.
We should totally do like a week or two of, hey, these are really, really infamously bad movies on the review show. Just like Melissa,
I really want to do this.
You pitch 3 of them, and I'll pitch some the next week or something. And Jess, you're welcome to join us. But yeah, so something like that would be a good theme to do on the review show.
Yes.
Like that
You don't look at her face. She's excited about it already.
I love bad movies.
She's like,
so
Kyle,
much.
I'm gonna make you watch the holiday
And I say
special.
bad movies with absolute love and affection. Like everyone I see enriches my life. I am never the worst for seeing a movie.
So speaking of Star Wars stuff, did you guys see these news articles about the soda cans, the ones that look like thermal detonators? I think they look fantastic, but TSA banned them, so you couldn't take them on the plane.
See, here's the thing.
Not even in your checked bag.
Here's the thing is that they made those little round, soda bottles that look like the thermal detonator bombs, because this is leftover bottle stock that Coke had after making ornament-shaped bottles of soda for the holidays.
Interesting.
And I
didn't
never
know
heard
that.
anything about these when they were the same shape, just like lid's a little bit less detailed, I guess. Like, I never heard a single thing about them when it's like, oh, it's an ornament. But even in silhouette, it still has that cartoon bomb look, which I think is making these thermal detonator ones.
Now that it
so
has the
iffy.
like handle thing, it looks like a grenade. So they were like, "Whoa,
Yeah,
let's
that's the only
let's
detail is that the cap has more
pump the
texture
brakes
on
on
it.
those."
The other thing, sorry, I probably shouldn't move that one when I'm trying to talk because my ear itched. The other thing is, if I remember, you could get the ornament Coke like anywhere, whereas
Yeah.
like this one, so probably nobody was trying to ship these things because they were
Yeah.
like, I'm just gonna go to the Safeway and buy one. Whereas now,
That's
like, you
true.
can literally only get it in Disneyland and Disney World, and so like, if you do want to take it home as a collector's item, you have to either take it on the plane or you have to ship it. And so I think maybe they just never had an issue with it until now because you didn't have
Yeah.
to bring it home. You could go buy more at home.
So
Yeah, it's not
apparently
a souvenir from anywhere.
apparently they've updated their policies and they've now been like, okay, now we know what these things are. We all know what they look like. Now we'll let you put them in your checked bag. But I think they had to be empty, or like they had some things. I saw one article about it briefly, but I did not read the full thing. So wild
It's
stuff.
an article about soda bottles. It's okay if you don't
goodness,
read
I'm
the whole
dying.
thing.
Yeah, it just so it's strange news, right? Of like, you can not take these thermal detonators on the plane. It's like, wait, what? Those are soda cans.
Yeah.
It's just a bottle of Coke. It's harmless.
Exactly.
Unless you've got cavities, maybe.
So I had a bit of a weird bus driver this week. I
Quantify.
I take the bus to and from work, and every so often, like, I don't know if they do it in shifts of like, okay, my route this week is 1B, and I'm gonna do the 1B route, and then next week they do something else, or who knows. But this week I got a bus driver, and the first day that he was there, he drove the absolute slowest a human being could possibly drive on the road. And I've seen buses go a little bit slower, and that's fine. But then he would stop at some of these stops, even if there was no one there to pick up and no one was getting off. He would just stop. And then on a couple of them, he would stop and he would just wait. And he would wait for like 5 minutes. And I was just like, what is there something wrong with the bus? Like, but no, he was just sitting there, just like staring off into space. And I was like, I don't understand what is happening now. And so I had him multiple times throughout the week. Thankfully, he never went that slow the rest of the week, so it might have just been something with the bus, and I don't know. But there was one morning, there was someone else with me at the bus stop, and they got on before me, and they couldn't get their card to work on the thing, to the point where the guy was like hitting the box, like, why isn't this working? And the bus driver didn't say a thing, and once he finally got it to work and the guy left, I could see the driver just shake his head, just like what was wrong with that guy? And I was just like, dude, you could have helped him out. Like,
Check on Bus. Bus had problem.
yeah, like you could have been like, hey, dude, just swipe the thing. You don't need to smack it or something, or been like, hey, here, let me help you or something. But he would just like, whatever. So.
I wonder if the super slow day, he just like didn't have enough energy to actually pay attention to whether or not people wanted to get off or get on. So he just was like, I guess I'll just stop at all the stops for like 3 minutes and then people can get on and get off. And if they didn't, I was there for 3 minutes. They can't say anything about it.
And it happened twice where he would wait at the stop and someone was coming to get on the bus, and as soon as they signaled to be like, hey, wait up a sec,
did he drive off?
Yeah. I was just like, what? You all right, dude, whatever. But who knows, it was so strange. Like, usually the weird things that I see are from the people that are on the bus, not the driver themselves. It was just weird things. Hopefully this next week I have a new driver. Weird stuff.
That'd be nice.
I did want to say that also on the way home, or I guess both ways, but especially on the way home, I pass a Popeyes. And what the hell is up with these new chicken sandwiches? Have you guys heard?
I know there are sandwiches that are a thing, but I don't know. I don't know what's on the sandwich besides presumably chicken and bread. I don't know what other ingredients are involved.
So this is kind of old news, actually. What were you gonna say, Jess?
I was under the impression that like Popeyes has never made a chicken sandwich, and so people are just excited that like a chicken sandwich existed.
Are they pieces and strips only?
I think maybe they were. And then the other thing that I've seen a lot around here is people being like, well, now that like Popeyes has a good chicken sandwich, I don't have to go to Chick-fil-A. And I fucking hate Chick-fil-A. Like, they're not that good. And so I think people maybe who aren't going to Chick-fil-A but miss having a chicken sandwich are excited. I think it's literally just, I think they had never had a chicken sandwich.
Better than Chick-fil-A is the thing.
Well, that's not hard to do. Chick-fil-A is not that good in the first place.
Really
and
good.
Also, they suck as a company.
But yeah, they do suck as a company, but their food is good.
I mean, I have had them. Maybe you have better Chick-fil-A's than we do, but I was like not impressed with their food.
But yeah, to the point, like last week there were a whole bunch of memes and all sorts of stuff going around, but one of these nights, it was like the night, not the night that they announced it, but it was like a day or two after they announced it. And on our way home from work, the bus stops in the middle of the road, and the driver looks back and is like, "Hey, if you guys want to get off here, you can." And I was like, "What? Why would he do that?" And I look out the window, and it's because the drive-through line for Popeyes is like around the building, out the parking lot, and down the street. And there's people inside the restaurant, and it's like what in the world is happening? Why is this a thing? This is ridiculous. So apparently it is better than Chick-fil-A. So I may have to report back one of these weeks and let everyone know.
All right.
So
thank you for your
hard-hitting journalism.
Investigation.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
Do you guys have Culver's where you live? Is Culver's a Midwestern thing?
I don't think we have it here. I've never heard of it.
It started in Wisconsin. It's like butter burgers and cheese curds and frozen custard. You know, it's like good chicken sandwiches. They got them there too. Good chicken strips.
Butter burger.
It is basically just a burger where they put butter on the bun and grilled it. like a notable amount of butter, just like not an insane amount, but enough that butter is in the name of the item.
How are people toasting their buns without?
Well, that's the thing. I think it's just slightly more. It's like more than just the bare minimum of butter. I don't know. I'm not Wisconsin. I just know they have them there, and I go get them, and they're pretty good.
I was imagining. So you know how sometimes at carnivals and stuff like that, they'll make the fried sticks of butter. It's a real thing, and it sounds like a heart attack. I was basically imagining that, but like a patty of butter that's been fried and then like put into a sandwich as the main thing. What is a butter burger? Strange.
It's just a burger with a notable amount of butter on it. It's not. I think it would be like calling it's a ketchup burger where there's just ketchup on it.
Ketchup.
Like there's no more than a normal condiments amount of butter on the burger, but it is more than the average burger has butter. This is how I can quantify it for you.
I feel like average burgers don't have butter.
The bun might if it's toasted. I think this is the only thing. You guys
are like, I don't know.
Really complicated. They just put some butter on the burger and they have cheese curds and there's a cow on the sign and they got a different frozen custard every day. Welcome to Culver's, your hometown favorite if you live around here.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order, please?
So I'm really excited because I'm going to a fair tomorrow. And I am excited for the food because fairs are usually where I can get curly fries in a block the size of the deep fryer. I can eat one of those by myself.
Amazing.
They are so good. They're like $10, but it's super worth it because it literally like the best ones are when it comes out in a block. Like they just I saw one year the machine they used to do it, and it's like you put the potato on this like spike or whatever, and then there's a blade, and then you spin the potato into it and it curls it, but they were using like a hand drill to just like move it along, and then they shove as many fries as they can in the fryer, and then they just like they dump, there's the block, it's yours. I'm excited about that, and also Fisher's scones. I don't know if that's a thing that reaches as far as you guys.
I don't know what that is.
But they're scones. That's all they are, but they're really good scones. And you can get them like they make regular scones and then like scones with fruit. And then they also make
scones?
The regular scones you can get. Oh, sorry, Fisher's the name of the place, like Fischer. Like it belongs to somebody whose last name is Fisher. Yes, yeah. Gotcha. There's no like fish or anything, but you can get them hot with like a little bit of jam on them, and they're amazing.
That sounds great.
So I'm mostly just excited to eat the food.
My brother and his family just went up to the Iowa State Fair, and my niece is almost 3, and this is her first state fair. She's seeing all of these animals. She saw piglets and a cow, and she saw the butter sculptures, and she got a cookie and like all kinds
sculptures.
of things.
You guys are doing all sorts of
butter
fancy things with butters.
Well, you take a bunch of butter and you sculpt it into something, and there's a butter cow, this legendary butter cow at the Iowa State Fair. Full life-size cow made out of butter. And this has been like on my sister-in-law's bucket list her whole life. She's like, I gotta go see me that butter cow. So they went and did it. But out of every like cool treat that they have at the
sorry.
Out of every treat they have at the fair, my niece's absolute favorite thing she had was a hard-boiled egg on a stick. Not fried, dressed, cooked any special way. It is the conventional hard-boiled egg we all know, put on a stick for an easy walking snack from the farmer straight to you here at the Iowa State Fair. And boy, what a treat for a child.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
That's
So,
wild.
okay, back to the butter thing. I'm sorry. Do
Okay.
you do anything with the butter sculptures afterwards? Because otherwise, that sounds like a huge waste of butter. And like,
You
how
put
do
them
you
on
keep it
burgers. You
sculptable? Because
make
eventually
burgers
it
out
gets
of
too
it.
hot.
No, you put them in a chilled chamber.
Do you have
I
to-
don't know what happens to the butter afterwards. I'll see
Cryogenically
my
freeze
sister-in-law this
them?
weekend and
Is it
ask
like
her.
walking through the frozen section at the store?
No,
Or like
they are
you're cold?
enclosed. From the photo she showed me, it's like the butter cow is inside a glass case, like Magneto.
I
and
love
it's
this
chilled
conversation.
there.
Somebody should make a butter Magneto.
Butter Magneto! Do you guys know Big Butter Jesus? It's Big Butter Jesus, but Magneto!
The whole butter sculpture thing I'm still adjusting to. Which I have another food question.
Yeah.
Specifically for you, Melissa. What
Yes.
the fuck is a happy apple?
Oh my
Or
Okay.
whatever you said they're called. I need to know.
This is the #1 sign of fall around here. When you go to Schnucks,
Butter.
which is our local grocery store chain, only around here in St. Louis, family company, known and loved. When you go to Schnucks and they have all the happy apples laid out, fall has begun. It's fall now because the happy apples are there. And all this is, it is a simple caramel apple. It comes in regular caramel apple with nuts, caramel apple with sprinkles. They call that one a wacky apple because it's all colorful. I think they've got a turtle one, and they have one called like the fancy apple or the tuxedo apple or something like that that's covered in little dark chocolate and white chocolate chips. That's all it is.
Interesting.
They're just packs of
Just
prepackaged
caramel apple.
just caramel apples. But like there's a little happy apple face on the packages, and it's like that's the sign. It's like when they put Ferrero Rochers out like in bulk, then it's
You know it's
Christmas,
Christmas.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I looked
When the
these
caramel
up
apples
because
come
this
out.
is like we all know this, and I'm
what
like,
that is.
do other cultures have happy apples? I googled them. They are from here in Missouri, so it looks like you don't.
Yeah, nope.
We-
Never heard of a happy
Stores
apple.
put caramel apples on the shelves, but usually like in their bakery section.
Yeah.
Along with the
Yeah, though.
cupcakes and the cakes, they start putting out caramel apples. And they'll do, yeah, I've seen all sorts of different kinds, but like they're not labeled anything. I do have an idea for improvement upon a caramel apple because, like,
Uh-huh.
honestly, caramel apples are one of the worst treats out there because they are impossible to eat. Just cut it into
Logistical nightmare.
slices. Cut it into
You
slices.
guys
and dip it.
remember
Just like-
Dunkaroos?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what they
Vaguely.
need for caramel apples. Just the apple slices, and then like a side thing of the caramel stuff that you can just
You can totally buy that.
dip it in.
Yeah,
sure.
I think that exists, although it does not. I don't know if it also comes with a separate container that is like chopped nuts or anything like that. So you really
Ooh.
don't have the full caramel apple experience. Yeah, there's nothing particularly special about a happy apple. It's only that all of them arrive overnight in mass. And that's when we know it's
Like the
fall.
Spirit Halloween stores that just show up.
Yeah, but it's our own little homegrown thing we find in our own Schnucks.
It's cute. I'm trying to think now if there's anything like in Washington specifically that I feel like pops up.
And
Although
you're
like
an
I've only
apple
ever lived
state.
here.
You guys
so
are big on apples.
Oh, yeah,
apples
we've-
come from there.
apples.
Apples
yeah,
are the way to
they're
my
in-
heart.
They're real good. I mean, we've got apples in the grocery store year round, and we have a lot of cider. A lot of like apple cider of both kinds starts popping up in the stores more around fall, and a lot of like farmers markets or independent stores will have like little like it's like a soda machine, but it does cider instead.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
So like maybe that's our thing, but I feel like that's not like that wild. It's
Wow.
really nice though to like go to the farmers market and be like, I want a cold apple cider or I want a hot apple cider.
Wow.
But it's tasty. I love apple cider, and I love
that
apple.
kind of apple game around here.
Apple
It's-
cider
it's
is real
everywhere.
good.
We have
I
a
would
lot
do-
of alcoholic cider companies here, and it's really nice.
Oh, nice. I went to visit Sam down in San Antonio, and she took me to some local, like Mexican fast casual chain there. Like, was it Taco Cabana, Sam? I don't know. please write in. But it's like a little fast casual kind of fast food chain. And they've got a normal soda machine with normal sodas
Taco
in it.
Cabana is what Sam says.
Thank you. And there's an apple Fanta, which I had never heard of or even dreamed of.
Yeah.
So it's got like a carbonated apple soda with my tacos.
It good?
It is what it sounds like. Like, there's nothing very good about it. Like, I don't miss it from the one time I had it. I just thought it was wild that I go just farther south in my own time zone still, even St. Louis down to San Antonio, and they've got completely different sodas out there. Big Red's big down there. Yes, yes.
Like, we don't have Big Red here on the East Coast. I mean, I'm sure you can get it somewhere, but it's not a thing here.
I don't know what that is.
It's I haven't had it in forever. What would you say the flavor is? It's not cherry.
Sam, they drink this a lot. She'll tell you.
Kind of like a strawberry-ish soda. I think. I don't remember. Barks Red Cream Soda, which is apparently like Big Red. At the Taco Cabana soda machine is also there. So I know Barks. I know their root beer.
They do root beer.
Yeah. But I don't know their red cream.
We have Jones Soda.
We have this also.
And we have Jones Soda machines, which is kind of fun. I don't know if anybody else gets that.
No.
I think we get that because we're in Washington.
Yeah,
Sam, I love the Jones Soda machine.
Feel like the Big Red is more like a strawberry cream. Like not cream, but more of like a strawberry flavor. Created in 1937 by Grover C. Thompson and R.H. Rorak in Waco, Texas, and originally known as Suntang Red Cream Soda. Interesting. Weird.
That sounds weird. I don't know if that's something I'd want to try. I think I would try it if I was somewhere where it was readily available, but I'm not necessarily going to go out of my way to get that.
Guys, St. Louis has the best local soda bottle works. It's this place called Fitz's. It's like a restaurant and soda bottle works. Really solid restaurant, and they also have like 16 of their own custom soda flavors.
Ooh.
Jess has to leave.
Not like ASAP, but like soon.
Okay, let me tell you about the good sodas.
I do, yeah. I want to hear about the good sodas.
Root beer, the big classic. Cream soda, all of those, orange. They have cream. They have a cardinal cream soda, which I think is something like this red cream soda. They've got key lime. They've got a caffeinated berry soda that's really good.
Key lime?
Yeah, a key lime soda. They've got... What did I get? I got like a really good black cherry soda the last time I was there. Like none of these are as wild as like Jones Soda gets, where they have like the Thanksgiving dinner flavored one.
Yeah, like turkey soda. That was weird.
Yeah. They're not off the wall. They're just very good kind of offbeat soda flavors, and you can watch them bottle the dang things while you eat your solid burger. They have smiley fries here. You remember the fries you'd get in school lunches as a little kid that are smiley faces? You can get them here. For all ages. I ask all the time as an adult. And they make you these floats. They've got like, I don't know, 20 different floats. And they're huge. There's like, I don't know, like 2 fists worth of ice cream piled onto this mug of soda. It's a mountain you devour. Yeah. This is my favorite place around here.
Sounds good. Well, we will wrap things up there. Then, but before we go, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Let's see, last week here on the show, it was just me and Jess. As we kind of mentioned, we touched on some of the early D23 Marvel and Star Wars news, as well as your camping trip that we got to hear. We got to hear about. Then also on the review show, which is one of our other podcasts, Melissa, you and I just did Hip Hop Family Tree Volume 1, and I got to teach you some hip-hop stuff.
I didn't know anything. I heard Rapper's Delight once.
Yeah, there you go. Which was in this book, and you got to hear the story about how that song came to be. And then for this week on the review show, we are watching season 1 of The Terror, which is an AMC show that is available on Hulu. So you guys should all go watch that. For those of you here on the live stream, Sam, in case you are interested, we are going to be recording that tomorrow night on Saturday night.
This one's early.
Instead of our normal Sunday morning. So be on the lookout for that. If you guys are watching this on YouTube or something else, then you can disregard what I just said, and this will be out on our normal time on Wednesdays. Let's see. What else did we do? We have a bunch of exclusive episodes of the review show up on our Patreon, and we are about to start doing some exclusive ones of the Captain's Log. So be on the lookout for that shortly. If you like what we do here, patreon.com/the Whatnauts is where you can support us. Thewhatnauts.com is our website. You can get all sorts of more information there. And we also want to give a big shout out to all of our $5 patrons, which includes Sam, who is here in the chat right now. So thank you, Sam, and thank you to Christine as well for helping us out. We appreciate it a lot. That being said, where can the people find you on the interwebs? Jess, let's start with you.
My Instagram, I'm 90% sure that this is Accio Jess Beaver. It's like the animal, but without the A. And my Twitter is Legend of Jess, but there's an underscore on either side of the of because that one's pretty popular.
There you go.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT.
And I am at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter and Instagram. You guys can find us at the Whatnauts on Twitter for updates for all of our shows. And I guess that being said, this has been episode 65 of the Captain's Log. We will see you guys next time. Adios.
Bye.
Bye.
What is going on, party people? Thank you so much for checking out that video. We hope you enjoyed it. Leave a comment of what your favorite Obi-Wan Kenobi scene is. I have no idea what I'm supposed to say here in these things. Go subscribe to our channel up here. That should be right in that corner up there. And then we should have a video down here in that corner. Go click on that video because we got tons more where that came from. We will see you guys next time.